Everything's been militarized. Our local peacekeepers walk around in surplus tactical gear, while politicians speak breathlessly of taking bullets in legislative debate. It's all a bit much, since the real war is one none of us seem interested in fighting. I'm Michael Quinn Sullivan with a reflection on life and liberty. Our infatuation with the over-militarization of everything might come from Lyndon Baines Johnson's War on Poverty, the only real effect of which was to decimate black families and increase poverty. Or perhaps it was Richard Nixon's War on Drugs that has really only existed to profit the drug cartels. Rather than fight the Islamicists, we had a 20-year war on terror. Those scary movies didn't go away, and the Taliban now runs the country from which we were trying to eradicate them. The world was deemed at war with COVID, though it's increasingly likely that was only a cover for protecting China's culpability and eroding civil liberties. The idea of declaring a war speaks to the grotesque fantasies of politicians eager to cast themselves in the role of heroic leader. When the people of Israel rejected the system of holy self-governance given them by God, they said they wanted a king. Samuel, speaking for God, warned them about the propensity of kings to fight senseless and expensive wars. The Bible doesn't use a lot of war imagery, except when there's an actual war going on. The notable exception, of course, is in describing what our posture should be towards sin. And in that regard, it is a war more deadly than any fought with blades, bullets, or bombs. The prophet Isaiah described the singular importance of that conflict. He described God as having righteousness as a breastplate and a helmet of salvation on his head, and that he wore garments of vengeance, wrapping himself in zeal. Yet when it comes to confronting sin in our culture, we long ago waved the white flag of surrender. We now treat sinful behavior as a mental illness to be celebrated or a lifestyle to be embraced. Rather than fight the enemy, we have contented ourselves with blaming the victims and shunning the warriors. Despite the Messiah having conquered death, we allowed a defeated enemy to lull us into apathy through lazy discouragement. There is no war more real than the raging battle for the souls of our neighbors. No war is more consequential than that for the moral authority of our republic. But if we are to do more than lament the loss of culture, we must begin wrapping ourselves unabashedly in zeal for Scripture. As St. Paul wrote, we must gird ourselves with truth, holding the shield of faith while boldly wielding the sword of the Spirit. The good news for Christians is that the final battle has already been won. Our job is to be faithful in the here and now, fighting cheerfully and faithfully for a winning cause. If you like today's reflection, be sure to subscribe, rate it, and leave a review, and encourage your friends to listen. The Reflections podcast is presented by Texas Scorecard, and today's edition was produced by Nick Shepard in the 1836 studios. I'm Michael Quinn Sullivan. Thanks for listening.